You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have spiders crawling out of a red velvet cupcake. Welcome to Night Vale. We start today's show with some exciting agricultural news. John Peters, you know, the farmer, said his winter orange crop is outstanding this year. He said there are oranges everywhere. Delicious clementines, juicy Valencias, rich navels, and bold blood oranges. John said there are so many oranges, a real bumper crop, he said. A real orange-tacular, he did not say. A real orange-a-thon, he never would have said. A real orange-apocalypse, he may have thought, but kept to himself. John, speaking to a pack of local reporters, and backed by a group of farmers wearing black double-breasted suits and red silk ties, said this is the dawning of a new citrus economy in Night Vale. John said, "Citrus is our future. Citrus holds the key to prosperity. Citrus holds the key to health. One particular orange here literally holds the key to a one-sided door in the middle of the desert. If you find that orange," John said, "I will pay you dearly for it." Or rather, John corrected himself, "you will pay dearly for it." Then John said, "Either way, whatever. Would love to have that orange, my friend. Would love to have that orange. Yes, sir," he punctuated. "Or ma'am. Or neither. I mean, whoever. Sure would love to have that orange," he chuckled while sweating and adjusting his wooden hat. John then tossed some oranges to the reporters. The reporters caught the oranges and then began to disappear and reappear, blinking in and out of existence. Quickly at first, then slowly, then more out of existence than in, until they were all gone. More on this story as it develops. The city council announced today that they just can't be here anymore. They said this in unison, standing in a cramped meeting room and wearing tiny rectangular sunglasses. They added that they wish us all the best in our final weeks. Then, they made the standard American Sign Language "I love you" gesture as smoke filled the room. Witnesses said the smoke smelled of maple and was a little briny, but not unpleasantly so. When the haze cleared, the city council was still standing in the room, apologizing, claiming, "This usually works," and then, no longer speaking in unison, casting blame on each other for not believing hard enough, and that if it weren't for so-and-so, they'd all be on a beach somewhere, safe from the bears or whatever those things are. When asked for an explanation about the bears, or whatever those things are, the council simply whispered in unison, "Mistakes." No follow-up questions were asked, as the reporters became physically and emotionally occupied with the dozens of agitated starlings that began pouring from the air conditioning duct. You know, listeners, I've been thinking about John Peters' orange grove. I did a little digging online and found that orange trees are not native to deserts. I also emailed my boyfriend Carlos about this. He's a scientist, which kind of makes me a scientist too. Here's Carlos's email back to me just now. Cecil, I'll do my best to answer your questions, but do know that I don't specialize in botany or dendrology. I am a scientist. I study science, not plants or nature. I did drive out past John's farm a month ago, and there wasn't a single tree, just acres and acres of rocky, cracked, flat ground. There's no way he could have grown anything natural on that land, let alone a bountiful orange grove, especially in just a few weeks. As far as your other question goes, let's stay home tonight. We ate out last night. Plus, there's a new documentary about scatterplot matrices on Netflix I've been wanting to see. Also, The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance is on TBS again. We could rewatch that. I'll make pasta if you can pick up some, etc., etc., etc. Carlos goes on about weekend bowling plans. You know what? You don't need all this. Okay, I think that's all he had about the orange trees. I do hope we watch Liberty Valance, though. I love that film. And now a word from our sponsors. Tired of waiting in line at the post office? Scared of the unexplained blood pouring from the P.O. boxes? Confused by screams that no one else hears? Terrified of leaving your home? Try Stamps.com. With Stamps.com, you can print your own postage and avoid the long lines and predatory birds so common at the post office. You can even have your postal carrier pick up your packages, as long as you are careful to never look the carrier in the eyes, as this is a sign of aggression, and you may scare your postal carrier away. Stamps.com has a special offer for Night Vale community radio listeners. Sign up today and receive a bag of magic rocks, $50 worth of self-loathing, and a free scale, so you can arbitrarily assign numbers to material objects. To claim your new member benefits, simply visit Stamps.com and press your forehead against the radio mic in the upper right of your screen until your entire body falls forward into the alternate Stamps.com universe. Stamps.com will tell your family you loved them very much. Stamps.com will tell your family that Stamps.com loves them very much. Come here, family. You are all our family now, Stamps.com will say, stretching their many boneless arms around your terrified family. Come here. We are all loving family. Stamps.com. You live in a dying world. We love you. Ladies and gentlemen, we've just received word that the Ralphs is stocked full of fresh orange juice from John's farm. It's called JP's OJ, where the O in OJ is a bright cartoonish sun with big pink eyes and a strained toothy smile, and the J is a sickle the sun is using to slice down ripe oranges from a large tree. Adam Bear, weekday shift manager at the Ralphs, said they have removed all other produce to stock JP oranges, and even emptied out the refrigerators to fully showcase all of JP's mouth-watering stock of fresh juice. Even several of the dry goods aisles had to be cleared out, Adam said, pulling oranges from his apron pockets. He continued pulling oranges from his tiny pocket, mesmerized by their seeming infinitude and unable to continue speaking as he began to blink out of existence. Listeners, we here at Night Vale Community Radio need to offer the following correction. In a previous broadcast, we described the world as real. We indicated, using our voice, that it was made up of many real objects and entities, and we gave descriptions of these disparate parts. We even went so far as to ascribe action and agency to some of these entities. But, as we all know, nothing can be fully understood to be real. Any description of the world we give is simply the world we experience, which is to say, a narrative we force onto whatever horror or void lies behind the scrim of our perception. We at the station offer our deepest, most humble apologies for the previous erroneous report. We affirm once again that nothing is real, including this correction, and least of all, your experience of hearing it. This has been Corrections. More now on the Orange Grove. Intern Maureen brought it to my attention that until today, John Peters, you know, the farmer, has been missing for about 4 months. Former intern Dana was the last to see him. Unfortunately, we do not know where Dana was when she saw him. We are also unclear as to when Dana was, as time and space seem to not apply to Dana these days. She's been without a phone charger for about 8 months now, and we're still texting. Also, I'm not sure how she's been paying her cell phone bill. Maureen? What is that? Maureen, that's not a glass of orange juice you're drinking, is it? Oh, I see. She got it from our station break room, not from the Ralphs, so it's probably safe then. Oh, well, thank you for the offer, Maureen, but I'm still working on my coffee. Maureen? Is everything okay? Listeners, Maureen is just staring at me, silent, a single bead of sweat running down her left temple. She is staring now at the orange juice. She is biting her upper lip with her lower jaw and breathing through her nose. Her cheeks are flushing and she is shaking her head very, very slightly. That looks like a no. Is that a no, Maureen? Listeners, I think that's a no from Maureen. Oh dear. Maureen just flickered. Like she was there, and then she wasn't, and then she was, like when a plane flies in front of the sun and the light leaves for a brief moment as you wonder for just that split second, is this it? Is it over? Only to have the sun return as your brain hears the faint hum of a distant jet and you sigh with relief and disappointment that everything is as it was. A similar thing just happened with Maureen. Listen, Maureen, She is backing out of the studio. She is backing out of the studio. She has dropped the glass. She is flickering. She is flickering. She is gone. Listeners, Maureen is gone. I hear no hum of jets. I see no intern, just an open door and an empty glass and a spreading stain. To the family of intern Maureen. She was a good intern, with a beautiful puppy and a chatty neighbor. She will be missed. Wait, I just got another email from Carlos.